I had to be outside this morning. It doesn't feel too hot in here today. It's July 9th and it's the morning. It feels a bit humid in here, but it's not too bad. So yeah, my name is Nadia and this video is going to be all about knitting. Knitting sweaters, tops, socks, and yeah, hello again. I am coming back for another video. I wanted to record again because I enjoyed recording out of other videos and getting some people who watch it, which is pretty exciting. I did not know or did not think that anybody would watch it, but even my 13-year-old son was watching my video and said that my videos are cool. So yeah, how cool is that from a 13-year-old? Alright, so I have a lot of knitting items in here that I'm going to share with you, and hopefully you will get inspired. Most of the items I do, well, some of the things I use patterns for, some of the things I don't, but when I do use patterns for things, I most likely to make it my own and not follow through the whole entire pattern. You will see that very soon. So I'm going to share my first object that I finished, and this was not a pattern, but I got inspired by a dress that my friend was wearing one day when we went out on a dancing night. It was a date night with 3 couples, and we were learning to dance, which was fun. We were learning the waltz, and it was fun time. So I really loved her dress that she was wearing. So I made a top for myself that has the ruffles and just a plain, no special stitches on it, plain, but it'll look really cute with the skirt or even pants. So this pattern is self-drafted, I guess. I did not follow a pattern. I made a swatch and did the math, and it worked out okay. It worked out good. This part right here a little bit lower than I wanted it to be. It should have been a bit higher, but it's fine because where you can see from the shoulder to the armpit, pretty long, but it's gonna be okay. So I knitted the body on my knitting machine because it's just a stockinette knitting, and my shoulder's been hurting me for a couple of weeks, so I couldn't do a lot of knitting. So I wanted to knit, so I had to use my knitting machine. So I knitted the body, and then I picked up the stitches on. So I knitted the body up to this part where I knitted in 2 pieces, and then I decreased for the armhole, and then I picked up the stitches, which was a lot of stitches. I don't even know how many because I never counted them. I couldn't count. I always kept losing track. But I did the folded hem up here. I think I might put a elastic to bring it in a little bit closer. So I did the folded hem. That was done by hand. And then I picked up the stitches for the ruffle, which I have no idea how many stitches this was. And then I did a garter edge so it wouldn't roll. And I think it turned out pretty cute. I can't wait to wear it soon. The yarn is from Knit for Olive. I ordered it from their website. I wanted to try their yarn even though it was a bit pricey on the shipping, but the yarn itself is really affordable. I don't know how I feel about this yarn. We'll see how when I wear it, if it keeps turning to a side. You know how you have t-shirts and then you wash them and they turn to a side? So this is what's happening with this yarn. I blocked it and I laid it flat, and it's still a little bit twist. You could see that it twists a little bit because there's where I did the stitching, and it twists a bit. But we'll see how it does when I wear it. I haven't worn it yet. I don't know how I feel about this yarn yet, but we'll see. I wanted to try it. This was a silk yarn, pure silk from Knit for Olive in the dark blue. I forgot the color of it because I thrown away the labels. I don't keep the labels, and then I don't write the notes, which I'm gonna start doing. But it's a really light summer top, and it's really see-through, as you can see. I'll have to wear a shirt underneath. But yeah, yeah, it fits pretty nice. I think I do I thought that I knitted one side a bit longer and one side a bit shorter for the front. But I think the front's too low, so I'm gonna wear it this way, where the front's a bit higher and the back's a bit lower. So I'll have to wear it in the next episode so you can see how it looks. Because today I put on my ranunculus that I showed you last week. And this was knit in yarn from, every time I go to Walmart to get things like toilet paper and other stuff that I need, I always stopped at the yarn section. So I seen this yarn, it's cotton and bamboo, and I think it's worsted weight, and I bought 200 grams of this yarn. I have about 50 grams left, which I'm not sure what to do with yet, but I do have a plan for that. I might use it with the gray yarn and do some tup. So yeah, this is my ranunculus that I made from that yarn, and it feels really nice. I wore it when it was pretty hot, and when the wind blew, and it cooled me off so good, and it feels really nice on your skin. It's so soft, so I wear it with a skirt, but I wear it different ways. But I love this yarn. I'm gonna have to see if I can order more different colors and make more summer things out of it, because it's perfect for summer. So that's where I'm wearing. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, so it's a pretty color too. It's really nice, and it's almost shiny, I think. I don't know, I just love this color. All right, so I am gonna go with another object that I finished this week that took me a while, but I showed you these socks in another video. I don't remember which one, but I had to finish them because they were sitting around for a long time. So this yarn was from Knit Picks. I don't remember the name of it. I will have to put it in the notes if anybody's interested, because people have asked me to tell them what yarns I use, which I throw away my bands and I never remember to keep them or write notes. But yeah, I finished a pair of socks, which these might be a gift to someone because they're a bit too big for me, and I think I know who they might be for. I want to knit more socks and have them sitting in a pile, and when I want to give a gift to someone, I could just grab a pair and gift them. And I only knit women's socks, but I need to knit some men's socks. I made my dad and my boys socks before, but my husband's been asking for a pair, which I still need to make him. Maybe for next colder, when it starts getting colder, I'll get one. Maybe next pair I will start it for him. And yeah, so these are the stripy yarn from Knit Picks. I really like the colors. This is no, it's not the first time. I've tried this heel 3 times already. Or four times. No, 3 times. I have other socks that I haven't finished, and one pair that I can't even find, which I need to find the second sock because it's almost done. So this is a shadow heel wrap. No, shadow wrap heel. And yeah, that's why they're a bit too big for me. So I'm gonna gift them to this lovely woman that I met a while ago. I think she'll like them. I hope she likes them, and I hope they fit her good. So yeah, they're finished. Both of them are finished. They fit really nice on the heel, but they're a bit too long for me. So I don't know if I'm gonna do this heel again. Here goes my socks that I finished. Put these over here. Let's move on to the warmest object. It's super warm, and I did save a not button band, the yarn band for this one. It is finished. It is finished and it's really long and really warm. So this was a Anchors sweater, which if you've never ever seen it or ever knitted this, you will see that I did not follow the pattern all the way through. And this pattern is from Petite Knits, and I also didn't use the yarn that they recommend. They recommend sport weight, and I used DK weight in this because I wanted it to be an extra, like, because I had this yarn. I had a different yarn in mind for this project, but I decided to use this yarn for this. And of course, it was, you know, it's gonna be bigger, so I decided to cut down a little bit of the yoke. I did less increases because there's supposed to be 5 of these sections, so I did 4. And because it was going to be oversized, and I had 300 grams of yarn, which I use every single piece, and also I used the little scraps that when I was rolling the yarn into the ball winder, I cut the little pieces and I kept them for some reason, and I'm glad I did, because I ended up using that for sewing up the buttons and finishing up doing the Italian bind off. And I had to splice with my hands to attach them when I was doing that, and it worked out great. So this one's really long. It goes long. It's not... So yeah, it's pretty long. It ended up being long. I could have stopped a little bit sooner, but I didn't, and I made it longer. And then it is also not as wide, not as oversized as it should have been, maybe, because I made it a little bit smaller because I didn't want it too big. I wanted to be able to also wear it with a jacket on top for extra warmth. I've been going out to the park with the kids and taking them to the park even in the winter, and they enjoy being there, so this will keep me nice and warm. I bought these buttons at Wool and Sheep Festival, and there was 8 of them, and they fit really good for this color, for this sweater. But the funny thing is, I didn't open them up until I started putting the buttons on, so I took one at a time out. And then I noticed that one of the buttons was bigger. This one was bigger than all the rest of them, which is strange. So because I needed 8 buttons and I didn't have any extra, I ended up putting it on anyways. But then I'm thinking maybe I could take out this much length and just do 7 buttons and do it a little bit shorter. Or maybe not, or maybe just keep it this way, because I don't think it's very noticeable that the button's bigger than the other ones. And as you can see, the buttons aren't placed evenly because some rows I kept going and I forgot to place a button hole, so they're not all even. But I like this yarn a lot. So the yarn is Ultra Alpaca, which feels, it's not scratchy to me right now on my skin. It's not at all. I can even wear it with this top and it will look really nice. So it's Ultra Alpaca, and this was on sale. It says $13, but I think I got it cheaper because it must have been like 15% off also, because I went on a day that was a sale day at my local yarn shop that's in Maryland, but I live in Delaware, so the local yarn shop's about 37 minutes away from me. So this has 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool, and 100 grams of this yarn is 200 meters. So I don't know if that's TK. I'm not sure. I'm just starting to learn about all the weights and all the, you know, of the yarn. Knitting community has taught me a lot about different yarns, different companies, swatching, which I started doing recently for sweaters. So yeah, this is really nice and warm. And I actually did, see, once I did the yoke, following the pattern, I stopped following the pattern after that. After I split for the sleeves, I did my own math because I didn't do an extra increase. So I split for the sleeves. Then I just started knitting without the pattern, which I still want to do the pattern with the 5 sections and just follow through with the pattern and see how that turns out. But the sleeves are fitted. It's a little bit, like about 2 inches of positive ease, and I didn't want it too much on it, so I did, which I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I don't like the way that it looks when I did 2 decreases at a time. So I knitted 3, and I don't like this decrease that much. I did it myself. I didn't follow the pattern. It wasn't the pattern, it was me. But I'm gonna knit another one with the intented yarn that I got for this, and because it is sport weight, and I'm gonna see how it turns out, and I'll make it a bit shorter. But this will be really nice just to put it on like a cardigan when I'm running out of the house. And it's pretty long too. Here are my, yeah, here's my, yeah, you can see it's pretty long, but it's really nice and warm. So I'm gonna take it off now. I wasn't getting overheated, but I don't need it now. So I'm gonna take it off and put it back. So this was my last thing that I finished. I ended up finishing it because it was sitting, I know it's summer, but I wanted to get it done and put it away so it could be ready for me to wear as soon as it gets cold. So I'm excited to wear that on the coldest day and see how it keeps me warm, because last year I took the children out to the park on a really cold day. We do have fires at the park because this is a homeschool group that gets together with their kids, and we have fires and we make hot dogs and other things and tea. So it was a really cold day, but we stayed out at the park for about 4 to 5 hours. And I had some of my knitted things. I had my big giant wrap, and I had gloves that my son ended up taking from me, which I do need to prepare and make some gloves. And I wasn't really cold, and my kids weren't really cold because I had warm socks, and I made sure that they dress up nice and warm, couple pairs of pants, so they were all good. So yeah, that was my last thing that I finished. And here's a pair of socks that I'm working on. I finished one. This is a pattern that I just cast on. It's not a pattern, but I just made it up, and I cast on 60 stitches. I did 1 by 1 ribbing, and then I did this little I forget words. When I start speaking, I forget words. Textured with pearls, little zigzag texture, which looks really cool, I think. So this yarn came from a sweater that I frogged. I might have shown it on here. It was a yellow sweater with the v-neck, and the v-neck was so low, and I actually didn't like the way that the sweater was because the gauge was so loose. And then because I made it on my knitting machine too, and then the raglan didn't look very nice, and it was just not nice. So I figured this was a sock yarn. So I really liked, I wanted, because it was summer and I wanted to make some pretty color socks. So I decided to frog it and knit socks with it. So I cast on 60 stitches. I think I did 22, maybe 22. No, I did 14 for the cuff. I did 22 rows for the leg, and then I did a slip stitch heel, gusset, turn. I'm not sure what they call it yet. I keep forgetting the words every time I record, and then they just leave me and I can't remember, and then I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this one turned out really cute. Here's the finished one, and because the yarn was frogged, it was bumpy, so I washed it and I already um, blocked it. I just laid it flat and it dried nice, so it's gonna look nice and it fits good. So I might keep them for myself or might give them to someone. We'll see. I have lots of new socks that I haven't worn yet. I have a couple pairs that I wear and I wash, and they wear really, really good. This yarn I dyed myself. Here's the second one. So this is the yarn that I buy from Dyer's Supply. I think they're in Miami, I think, but it's an American. It's not American. It's Italian yarn, but they have it shipped from Italy, I guess, and then they sell it here. And Dyer Supply. I'll have to put in a link, and you guys can check them out. But this yarn comes undyed in a pack of 5, and I've been ordering a lot of different yarns from them, and I really, really like it. And their sock yarns is great too. So I have not have any socks yet. This does have nylon in it. I think it's 75-25 or 70-30, I'm not sure. But I wear my socks all the time. I wear them with shoes, and I wear them at home, and I'm always in my knitted socks when it's cold. And I don't have any socks that have holes in them yet. Not one pair do I have that has holes in them. My dad, though, I made my dad some socks, not from this yarn, from a different one, and he has some holes in his socks. But I didn't use this yarn, but I'm gonna have to make my dad some socks from this yarn so he can have them and see how they last for him. So yeah, that's my another pair of socks that I'm working on. And I have 2 more that I kind of put them aside. One pair I'm not happy with because I used a rustic yarn sock without any nylon, and I made them short. I'm like, what's the point of me making them short? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the cuff of, I'm gonna cut the cuff, I'm gonna knit it longer, and then I don't have them with me now, but I'll talk about it next time I bring them to me. So I'm gonna make them longer because there's no point of me making shorty socks with a rustic wool, so I can use them in boots. And we'll see how that yarn lasts because it has no nylon, and we'll try it out and we'll see. All right, let's see what else I have in here. I'll put this aside for now. I've been spinning because of my shoulder hurting me, so I couldn't do knitting as much. But because, I mean, people who knit will understand the addiction, and every time that you're sitting and waiting for something, you have to knit. So I take my kids to karate, to music lessons. I took them to doctor's office because I have 4 kids, and it takes you know, a while when you take them to doctor's office, and I wasn't able to knit. And I take them to the parks, and I'm not able to knit. But I've been spinning a little bit, and I started a project with my yarn that I've spun. This is a BFL. I think this was 100% BFL fiber that I bought on Etsy. And this is all I have left. There was 115 grams, but this is all I have left because I spun up already some. And I started knitting a hat. This will be for my husband, I think, if it's not too huge. And if it is too big, I'll have to, I don't know. He'll be okay. He has a big head, so hopefully it'll fit him good. Because I'm using 3.25 millimeter needles, and I cast on, I think, 120 stitches. And I did the ribbing, 2x2 ribbing, and I haven't worked on it in a while. I have to get back to it and work on it some more. And this is some of the yarn I spun. Here's the second time I've spun up. It's 2-plied. I plied it. See, there you go, 2-plied, and it's like a finger. Some parts are fingering and some parts are sport weight. because it's not all even, but most of it is, as you can see. It wasn't so bad. I've practiced a lot on other yarns, and this is the first time that I'm actually knitting with the yarn that I've spun. I've been practicing, and finally I was happy, somewhat happy with the result of this yarn that I've spun. Because I use a Turkish spindle, which was so far has been my favorite, because I had other ones, but this one's been my favorite. So I'm working on another one to finish this up here and finish my husband's hat. And if I do have some left over, I think I might make some fingerless mitts, because they do have 100 and something grams. I'll have to measure and see how much exact. I think it was 115 grams altogether, and it's fingering weight, so I know I'll have a little bit left, maybe for some fingerless mitts. We'll see. But yeah, this is my spinning project that I've been working on. And here is another one. It's a colorful one. So this has silk, bamboo, and Corriedale, I believe. I don't have the band. I must have thrown it away every time I clean up, try to pick things up, and I just throw it away. So this is a little bit that I've spun. It came in this long braid. I got this from Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. And I'm trying it. I like spinning it. It feels really nice and soft and smooth and silky. Of course it does, because it has bamboo and silk in it, and I love that yarn. Here's another project that I'm working on for myself. I had this yarn in my stash, and I bought it to pair it together. This is my swatch I made. This is a cone of yarn that I had ordered from a website, JC Rennie and Company. So this is a super rustic, it says super soft rust color. This was 500 grams cone that I ordered online. Shipping was pretty expensive, so I think it ended up with the shipping, when I did the math, it ended up being $40 per cone, which wasn't too bad, because it's 500 grams, but still a bit overpriced. And I just tried it to wanted to see. Here's the color. I paired it with Kid Silk mohair from Drops. Let me see, let me show you. Let's put this over here so it's not in the way. And I started making this pullover, a raglan, on my knitting machine because my shoulder hurts. I did start, I cast on some stitches for the ribbing, because I didn't want to sit there and do the ribbing on my knitting machine, because that would take too long and hurt my shoulder even more, because you got to drop a stitch, and then with the hook you got to pick them up, reverse them, so it's a lot of work. Stockinette stitch is pretty easy to do. You just stand and move. It's sort of like you're building up your muscles, maybe, because you're moving the carriage up and right, left, and then it gives you a stockinette stitch. Not crazy about the result, but I'm just gonna keep it, and because it's super warm, this is gonna be my other sweater that I wear outside on super cold weather, either sledding or park. So this is gonna be a raglan sweater, and I am working on my first sleeve. It's hanging on my knitting machine right now, but it's gonna be somewhat, it's gonna be a shorter sweater, not too short, but shorter one than the cardigan. And it's the color of the yarn is well, the color is 33, so I think it was rust when I was ordering it, so that's why I like the color when it comes out like this, but then you see the stripes from the yarn going the back. So when you're hand knitting, It's more blended in. It's more like this, which is nice. But sometimes the yarn either goes forward or backwards, even though you're pulling through two threads at the same time. But it kind of, yeah, it's strange. But it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to spend too much time on this. Plus, I wanted a product. I do enjoy knitting because it's more relaxing when you're hand knitting, and it's more therapeutical than doing it on a knitting machine, because that's work. That's a lot more work. You're constantly have to think the steps, and it's constant. You know, you can't really relax and just do it, because then you'll forget to do an increase or decrease or whatever, because it's fast going. You knit, you know, you can knit 10 rows in 2 minutes. So I do love having a knitting machine for those times where I just want the product. And but I do a lot of hand knitting, as you could see. All the socks. I can also make socks on a knitting machine, but it's more stressful. So my husband and my kids decided to come outside for a couple of minutes, which is fine. It's not too bad outside. So this is my big giant bag that I recently purchased, my big purchase. And this is very big and nice. I like it. I've been using it a lot because I didn't have a big project bag that I could take with me, because I don't just take one project with me, I take a couple projects with me, so I need it all to fit in there, which you'll see how much stuff I can fit in here in a minute. So I had used this bag to take with me when I went places. Ooh, and look at these cute pins I ordered a while ago. They're so cute. One says squish more yarn, and another one doesn't say anything, just a basket of yarn and needles and a hook, because I knit and crochet. Isn't that cool? So this is the bag I use. It's small and it's open, and it doesn't have any strings. I think I bought it from Michael's. And then I decided to buy this big one. It has big pockets here, pockets on the inside. I'll link where I got this from if any of you want to check it out. If not, that's fine. I bought this for myself. I seen it on Instagram, and I decided to go on them, and the shipping was great. It was pretty fast. The communication was really awesome, because she didn't have the color that I ordered first. So I said, oh, it's okay, because I do love this color. So I picked this one. This one probably go more with everything that I have and use. So I'm gonna go through all my stuff that's in here first. Take it out and show it to you. I've shown this one before. This yarn came from, this orange one came from Knit Crate. It has linen in it, a merino wool, and I don't know what else. I think just linen and merino wool. I could have used this for a summer top, but it was too late when I decided I should have used it for a summer top. But I started making a shawl. So it's an orange, it's a bright orange, beautiful color. I love it. Should have made a top out of it, but that's okay. And then this green one was a leftover from a sweater that I made a while ago, a cardigan. This was from a local yarn shop that is an hour away from me. That's how local it is, but it's in the same state. So this was a cattle dyed merino wool with nylon in it. So this had more yardage than a regular fingering has. It was almost to 500 yards, almost 490 something or 80 something. So I had a lot left over, like 70 something grams. No, 60 something grams. I had left over 60 grams, and I knitted a whole entire cardigan in 100 and let's say 30 grams, but I paired it with alpaca and silk. So, and the cardigan wasn't even that, it wasn't too crop, but it was enough for me. So I had a whole bunch left over, still have a lot left over. And I'm working on this shawl. It was a free pattern on Ravelry, and I haven't picked it up in a while, but I'm showing it to you because I do need to pick it up and work on it and finish it. This might be a gift for someone too, or I might keep it for myself, but I'm thinking like I don't need that many shawls, so I might gift this to somebody for Christmas, which is gonna be a wonderful gift, I think. I've never had anybody gift me anything handmade, never. But I know that most of the people in my family and some of my friends, they would like it if I give them some things, I think. Because so far, the gifts that I gave to people, they enjoyed them. So yeah, here it is. It's pretty long already. But not long enough for a shawl that you can wrap around your neck a couple of times. Keep you nice and warm. We'll see how warm this keeps you. It might be good for like a fall. Because this is, I don't know, might keep you warm. Superwash yarn, this one is. I don't think this one was superwash. I'm not sure. I don't think it was. But yeah, there you go. I have to finish it. And I will finish it and have it in a pile of gifts that I could give this for Christmas to people, and that would be awesome because I usually don't, and I think of Christmas gifts too late and I don't have time to knit, and I kind of don't want to stress over it either. Like the last minute gifts, I don't do that. I hate it. So I usually don't make things for Christmas for people, except for my nephews. I've done it a couple of times for a couple of my nephews. All right, here's another one that you might have seen before. I was working on a cotton summer leaf top. This yarn's from PURLSOHO cotton yarn, buttercup something. I don't have a tag with me right now. I do have more of this yarn, so if anybody's interested, I'll put it in the notes. So this is a leaf top. It's going to be a summer top. I still have a long ways to go to make it longer. That way it's not too cropped, but I want to make it nice and long. So this one's going to have to be worn with something underneath for sure, see-through. But this yarn is so soft. It is really nice to work with. It's not, so far I love this yarn. It was 100 grams. It was on sale, so that's why I bought it. I think I bought 4 different colors. This was 100 grams and 300. I think this is sport weight, or like fingering, but because cotton's a bit heavier, so. But I'm knitting on 2.5 millimeter needles, and so it's taken me a long time. It's really soft. I like it a lot. We'll see how it washes and how it wears out, because some cotton yarns I have, and I made my children things in it. Sometimes after a couple of washes, they don't look very nice. But this is an old project. This was something that I started working on last year, or even the year before. Might have been a year before. I knitted the yoke. So this yarn, oh my goodness, this yarn is so nice. This is Italian 100% merino wool, super fine, undyed. I bought in big cones on Etsy when it was on sale. Every time it was on sale, I would buy it. So I had a lot of it. And when I was in Wool and Sheep Festival, I seen a big giant cone of it, and I regret not buying it. Next time though, next time, because for now I still have some. Chickens are fighting. So I don't remember where the chart is for this yoke. I have no idea. I just used the chart from Pinterest. If I find it, I'll put it in. I dyed the yarn myself. I mean, the colors just turned out beautiful. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to replicate these colors again. But I like the speckled colors a lot. The speckled one, I'm gonna try my best to replicate the speckled yarn and knit something out of it for myself, because this one is for my daughter and it's gonna be too small for me. So I wanted a really nice neck line, so I cast it on my knitting machine, and I did the ribbing on my knitting machine, and it's like like a really nice ribbing. And yeah, so I'm working on it. I'm gonna try to finish this before it gets cold, so she's excited about this. She's 5. She loves colors, and I think she'll love this one, and she'll wear it all the time, because some of the things that I've knitted for her, and there was this little dress that I made for her, and it was too small, and she was so upset that she couldn't wear it anymore, and she wanted me to reknit her another one, which I might reknit another one for her in the fall, so she can have some knitted items to wear, stay warm when she plays. Look at that. These colors, oh, they're just so pretty. I like them. I like them together. I didn't like them for me because I'm like, it's too much colors, but my 5-year-old will love it. And then I thought it would have been probably nicer if it was upside down, because these little things with the yellow and red, they look like flowers, and those might look like little bees or something. But I might have to look and search through my Pinterest to see if I can find this pattern again. I might have it saved somewhere. So this is my second project that was in this big bag. Let's put that aside. No, third. That's my third project in that big bag. 3 already. Here's my biggest one. This is a huge one. This is my last one. This is the last project that I'm working on, which you've seen last time, I believe. The bag over here. Yeah. Oh, I hope I do have, I'm gonna find it. I do have the yarn label for that. I think this one is Deep Sea. This yarn is from PURLSOHO website. I believe this one is Deep Sea color, and it's 50% fine Highland wool, 35 alpaca, and 15% linen, and it's not super washed. This gorgeous color is Vintage Celadon. I am not saying it right probably, but I'll put it in the notes. At first, I like this color in a when it came first in the hank, right? That's what they called. And then when I wind it up onto a ball or a cake, I wasn't crazy about it for some reason. And then I started my second color on this half and half triangle wrap. Half and half. It's a free pattern. If you go on PURLSOHO website, you will find it there. And you can also find it on Ravelry. There's lots and lots of projects on this wrap. And this is an addictive project. This is my third one. I finished third one because I did 2 that weren't finished. Just one half. So this is my third finished one. This is huge. The pattern is free. What you do is you cast on, for the smaller size, you cast on 190 stitches. For the biggest size, you cast on, I think it's 260 stitches. I cast on for mine 200 stitches. I'm using 3.25 millimeter needles. And these are clover. I have a clover set, interchangeable needles. I like them. So I cast on 200 stitches. The last one I made was 190 stitches, and it still turned out really, really big. I think my my knitting is looser than most of the people who make this blanket. I mean, I call it a blanket because it's as huge as a blanket. It's as tall as me. Let's see. So I can't show it to you, but this is how long it's gonna be. It's really big, 200 stitches, and I started my second color, and I need to slow down because this is a really nice, enjoyable knit. Doesn't take that much brain power at all. I did that in a couple of days, 3 days I think, but I have to slow down. I don't want to hurt my shoulder, and I don't want to finish too soon because then I'm going to want to start another one. Do I need another one? Yes, of course I need another one, because I know that my girls are one day gonna inherit these. They will. This is a good yarn, a lovely yarn. I made 2 other ones in superwash merino wool sock yarn, which would be wonderful for socks when you're knitting them in a tighter gauge and they last really long, but they're knit in not such tight gauge, so some of the strings, some of the yarn, because it's plied, it's a couple, I think 4 plies or 3 plies. This one's 3 plies, the other one might have been 4 plies. Some of the yarn, some of the plies, just one would get caught onto something and pull, and it would not look very nice. And I don't want to ruin that yarn or that shawl. I think I'm gonna take it apart and use it for socks. This year I'm gonna make some, because I'm gonna take apart the one that is blue and white or natural color. I'm gonna take that one apart and use all that yarn for socks for gift knitting. And the other one is pink and yellow, so I'm gonna keep that one because I think my youngest daughter would love those colors, and she can use that when she gets bigger. She already uses it as a blanket when she wakes up in the morning and cuddles on the couch, so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want 2 big ones that are sort of the same colors. The other one has a lighter color, but I don't want the yarn to get so ruined that it's not going to be usable and it's going to look terrible, because I really don't like the way that it looks with some of the yarn pulled out. I would go in and weave it in, or like sew it into the stitches, but I don't want to keep on doing that. So I'm gonna take that apart, and I'm hoping that this yarn won't do that. This is a 2-plied yarn. It's fingering weight, non-superwash, which is great, and it looks beautiful. I have more of this yarn on the way because it was on sale, and I have 2 more different colors in my stash already. It's just, I would say this is affordable yarn because the hand-dyed yarn is a lot more expensive. I think 100 grams was on sale. You can get it for $50 and some cents, US dollars. And then I recently made another order because it was on sale for $13 and some cents. I think almost 14 US dollars. And I got free shipping because it was over the amount that they'll send it to you for free. I'm not going to say the amount, but you can go and check them out. PURLSOHO website. The yarn does go on sale, so you can wait until it goes on sale. Second color looks nice now, especially outside. Now, I talk too much. I like the second color. I don't know if it's gonna suit me. I'm not good at putting colors with my, I don't know, I don't think I am good, but I think I like these colors a lot. So this is my last project that I've been working on. I still have some, but I'm not gonna show them to you because I haven't worked on them in a while. So yeah, 4 projects in this one bag I can take with me and work on. And this bag is like you can sit it down and it won't fall. It's like a bucket, and it has 3 pockets inside, 2 pockets on the outside. Okay. So the company where I purchased this is called Wax and Temple. I'll link it below. And this is my little swatch um, ruler that I got at Wool and Sheep Festival a couple months ago. Which another one's coming up in, I think, November or October. And it's Alpaca Festival, I think. I've never been to the alpaca one. I've been to the Wool and Sheep Festival a couple of times, but never the alpaca one. So I'm excited to go again this year. I'm saving up some money. I have to stop buying stuff. So there you go. 4 big projects in that one bag that I could take with me and work on at any time. Thank you if you made it this far. And if you didn't, that's okay. I wouldn't blame you. It was a lot of talking. Thank you for all the lovely comments that you guys leave me. And I think I'm going to keep on doing the videos for as long as I can. It's not going to be ever consistent, like every week or every other week or every 2 weeks or every month, because I don't always have the time to sit down and podcast. I do a lot with the kids, and it's a lot of work to sit down, bring all this stuff, but it's fun. I like it when I do get all my stuff and finally make myself do it, and then I do it and I feel happy. So thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And thank you for every single one of you who subscribed. It was just exciting that there's somebody out there who's watching and commenting and likes my things that I make. As for us knitters, we love the stuff that we make. And then sometimes I would get discouraged and think like, maybe all the stuff I make is not that nice and maybe I should stop. I stopped posting on Instagram and on Facebook. I don't post there that much. But if any of you do want to follow me on Instagram, maybe I should start posting again. I do have an Instagram. I think it's Busy Knitter. You might find me there. Or, yeah, Busy Knitter. That's my one that I post knitted items on, which I gotta take some pictures and post on. Thanks so much. Bye. See you soon.